Come and check out 3 dresses I made for Project Dress a Girl. Hi YouTube, I'm Crystal of Crystalsewsandstuff.com. Welcome back to the channel where I share sewing makes, sewing pattern reviews, sewing tips and techniques, and other fun related content. So today I'm here to share with you 3 dresses that I made for Project Dress a Girl. And if you didn't know, this is a really fun challenge. It's a great organization where they have sewists make dresses for girls in need. And this year, my good sewing friend Mari of Mari Sews here on YouTube and Mari Sews for Curves on Instagram decided to go ahead and have a goal to sew up 100 dresses for Project Dress a Girl. And anyway, I decided to go ahead and participate, and I made 3 dresses for this really fun challenge. So for the challenge, you have to make a dress during the month of September. So it started on September 1st and it goes through September 30th, and you just have to make a dress. And the dress has to have no button closures, and so it has to be easy to put on, and they prefer natural fibers for the fabric. And so I made 3 dresses for the challenge. So I decided to go with Butterick 3551, and this is a really it's an older pattern, so it's almost vintage. So I'm gonna call it vintage. Technically, for something to be vintage, it has to be from 20 years old, but this is from 2002, so it's almost 20 years old. But anyway, I thrifted this pattern about several years ago in order to make a dress for Carmen, and I even traced it out, but for whatever reason I never made it, and so I went on ahead and decided to go with this pattern because it has a lot of views. So I did 2 different views using this pattern, and I did different sizes. So I went with view D, which has a cute little bow and on the side, and then it has a triangular hem on the bottom, and then I also went with view B with the ruffle. So I did view B in a size 7 as well as in a size 10, and then I also did view B in a size 10. And so these are so cute. So let me tell you a bit more about the pattern. So the pattern is only a few pieces. There's just your front piece, and then your back piece, and then you have the facing pieces, and it's an all-in-one facing, so the facing pieces are connected, and so it covers both the arm side as well as the neckline. And I really like that about this pattern, and so I just love the finishing for the neckline, and so I'm so happy with how these turned out. And then the other view has a beautiful bottom ruffle to it. And so I love how this turned out with the bottom ruffle. And then I also added little pockets to the sides, on the sides. So the pattern didn't come with pockets, but I decided to add some patch pockets to the sides because I know little girls love side pockets. I know when Carmen loves pockets, and so I just decided that this would be so cute with added pockets to it. And making the pockets was very simple. All I did was take 2 pieces of fabric, 2 fabric squares, and what I did was I just sewed them all together. Then I turned them inside out, and then sewed a line at the top, and then I just sewed them down all the way around after turning them inside out. So, and I sewed it right over the side seams in the hip area so that you can put little rocks and other toys and stuff in your pockets, because I know my kids like to put stuff in their pockets. And the fabric that I used were 2 of them were quilting cottons. So this yellow and white and green print is a quilting cotton that I picked up in New York, as well as this one. I think I picked this one up at the same time. This really pretty purple fabric. It has really pretty big purple flowers. I got this on a trip to New York as well, and I like how it looks with the little pockets on the side and a little bottom ruffle. So I think this will be so much fun for a little girl. And then for the bottom hem, I did a 3-thread rolled hem with my sergers to make it easier to hem up the bottom. And I love how it turned out in these fabrics. And this reminds me of the Liberty of London kind of print. Both of them do with this pretty floral, because Liberty of London is known for their cotton florals. And so that gave me that Liberty of London kind of vibe to it. So I love how both of these dresses turned out in these pretty florals. these daintier florals. And then I use some fabric. I know you recognize this fabric because I made two things that I've shared on the channel with this. I made a dress for my beach vacation with it, as well as the Itch to Stitch Crystal Cove cami, and I had some left over, and I made this pretty size 10 dress for a girl, and I did the same 3-thread roll edge hem for the ruffle. And then I made pockets, and I made them a little bigger, so because that's why I have these left over, because I decided I wanted the pockets to be a little bit bigger because the print on the flowers is bigger. And I did the same thing, and I just sewed down these pockets on the in the hip area for both of them. So I love how it turned out. So really cute pattern. So I love how these turned out, and this is an African wax print, and I think African wax print is you get a really good bang for your money with African wax print. Even though this was this fabric was gifted to me by my friend T of Crumpets Tea and Sewing. But whenever you do buy African wax print, they do generally come in 6-yard lengths, and so you can get a lot of different pieces from one length of fabric with African wax print. So I think that's great for beginners and very cost efficient way of getting fabric, because you get a bold print and it makes things look more expensive than well, it makes things look more difficult than they are just because you have such a bold print. But you can make the simplest dresses look even more fancy with a big, bold African wax print. So I love how this looks, and I thought it'd be great to share this print with a little girl. So those are the 3 dresses that I have to share with you today. But I also wanted to share with you some other dresses that you might want to keep in mind. So again, you can go ahead to the thrift store and see if you can find some patterns for girls, because sewers tend to donate their patterns to thrift stores like Goodwill and Savers, and you can often find a rack of older girls patterns. And here's like another one that I picked up, and this is McCall's 3539, and this is something that Carmen can still fit, and I might go ahead and make her the cute little shirt and maybe the dress one day as well. So I think this is really cute, a really cute pattern, and it's older, so you can usually find older kids patterns at thrift stores. And then some current patterns that I've made for Carmen are McCall's 7589, and this is really cute. It's just they have an adult version as well with this pattern, and it has a lot of different options, so you can just do it with 2. Just basically it's a rectangle, triangle kind of shape right here that leaves armholes, and then you have a tie opening. So that's a really easy pattern. View D would be for a very beginner, and then once you get a little more advanced, you can do the elastic waist version for views A and C. One has a straight hem and then one has a curved hem. So I think the straight hem would be the easiest for your ultimate beginner. But I think this is a great pattern. I made this for Carmen about 2 years ago. Then another pattern that I made is Simplicity 8663. Actually, Carmen and I made this together, and we did a cute quick tutorial, and I'll leave a link so you can go ahead and check that out. And we did view view A, I believe. No, we did view. Yeah, we do view A with the flounce in the front. And this is a really cute, easy pattern, great for beginners. After you've done 1 or 2 projects, you can easily go ahead and tackle this pattern. It's a really great pattern for beginners. So those are some other pattern suggestions for the project Dress a Girl, and I hope you all get a chance to participate in the challenge. And when you do go ahead and post your makes, go ahead and post them to Instagram using the hashtag Project Dress a Girl, as well as go ahead and tag Mari at Mari Sews for Curves on Instagram to make sure that she sees your post and so that she can share it. And it also helps her to keep tabs on how many dresses have been made for the challenge. All right, that's everything I wanted to share with you today. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button below so that you won't miss any future videos. And until next time, take care. Bye.